Alright, welcome back. As you can see, I got my washing machine giving me problems. She wanted two washing machines, one for the shop clothes and one for just our normal clothes. So whatever to that, but you can see it's filled up. It won't drain and it won't agitate, it won't spin. So we're gonna go ahead and start taking this thing apart. First I gotta get the water out. I'm either gonna use my wet dry vac or a siphon. You can see my sink's right there, so we'll come up with something. We'll get the water out and we'll get the back off and we'll figure it out together. I don't usually work on washing machines, but today I'm going to. Alright, I'm just going to take my Bauer cordless wet dry vac and suck some of this out. Little container full at a time. I did take the filter out here, obviously. Okay, now that the water's out of this thing, I believe we have to lay it down to be able to work on it. So I have a carpet laid down here. I'm going to lay it down flat, and I think we should be able to access the pump. And there's still a lot of water in this thing. Oh yeah, here all the water comes, and there's your pump over there. So that's pretty easy access. I'm just going to let the water run out into my floor drain down here. I'm going to lay it down flat, and I think we should be able to access the pump. And there's still a lot of water in this thing. Oh yeah, here all the water comes, and there's your pump over there. So that's pretty easy access. I'm just going to let the water run out into my floor drain down here. And we'll pull that pump off right here. We got to get this clamp off for the drain line, and let's see. Okay, first things first, we're going to remove the drain hose right here. I'm sorry, it's kind of dark. I'm working in the basement. So you're going to get this clamp, and you're going to lift it off. And you're going to have to get this hose off, pull it off like that. Look for any obstructions. Probably an obstruction in this pump. Now these are going to be metric. I'll tell you what size they are, and we'll just take the whole pump right off this thing and see what's going on with it. Okay, these are going to be 9 mil or 10 mils. They just thread into plastic, so you put this back together. I won't be cranking on it like crazy. You'll bust the plastic. But there's 3 of them. And now that those are out, we should be able to take this pump just like this and take it right off. And there's going to be a wiring harness. And you can see that pump is full of water. And it looks like to unplug the wiring harness, we're going to have to take this cover off and unplug it from the main panel here. It's going to be this cover right here. You're going to have more 10 millimeters. So let me do that. And I'll show you where to unplug it from. Okay, for this cover you got a 10 mil right here. And then there's going to be another one directly below it down here, I believe. Yep. So there's 2. And there's actually going to be a third one right over here. Hopefully you can see it. It's going to be right here. Pop that cover off. Oh, well here's why it ain't working. The belt's broke. So there we go. It's got a broke belt. I don't know why it broke. I had to make sure nothing's seized up here. Make sure the motor feels good. I am going to take the pump apart. While I do have this apart, it's going to be this wiring clip right here. So we're going to have to get it unclipped without breaking it. I'm probably going to have to get a flashlight to see how it clips together. And I'll show you when I get it unclipped how it unclips. Okay, to unclip this, you're going to take your nail or flathead and push down right here. Push it down, boom, your clip will slide out. Here's your pump. Get that out of there, but obviously I got a problem. You can see there's no pieces on here for the belt, like right here on the motor. You can see it's got the fins here. It's got one of these cog belts. So I'm going to have to look up the part and see what's failed here. Alright, so I discovered that this doesn't have any drive cogs on here. It's just smooth. And I think this guard right here is like a belt guide. I've seen some of that stuff on my small engine videos I've told you about. I don't know if it is or not. It might not be, but I feel like it rides close and keeps that belt on. But I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put the pump and everything back on. And I'm going to run this thing now that I got the belt back on and see what happens. Alright guys, you can see I got it working. It was the belt, number one. Number two, the pump is good. It wasn't clogged like I thought. But if you have one of these GE washers and it won't spin or drain, I accidentally discovered the other problem that was mixed in with this whole belt problem. What it was I was pushing down on this lid with my arms, leaning on it to mess with the switches, and it actually hit spin and lid lock, so this lid is not locking. So before I wrap this video up, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to adjust the latch on it. So hopefully this video is going to save somebody some money too. So here's the latch that goes down in here. It looks like the metal is bent right here. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to bend it out, and then if that doesn't work, I'm going to order a new switch. So I'll let you know in a minute. I'm just going to take probably a flathead and maybe sneak in there just like that a little bit and bend it out just a hair without breaking that switch, and we'll see if it does the trick. So that's going to wrap it up for this video on your GE washer. If you have one of these that won't spin and drain, I bent that tab down a little bit. Now the lid's locking, no problem. So it's draining. We're good to go.